Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you and everyone watching this. Welcome to this short informative video session on the African Excellence Award of the prestigious University of Glasgow. So I am Albright Ngumnumfo Bisong and I'm from Cameroon. I'm currently studying at the University of Glasgow. I'm doing my MSc Masters in Urban Transport, and I was privileged, blessed, and graced to have received this award from the University of Glasgow for the academic year 2023-2024. So this video is just a way of us and myself paying back to the community, paying it forward to the community, and to share what this scholarship is about, what was my experience, how to apply for it, and how to make your application stand out. So in this video, I'm just going to talk in four parts. First of all, I'll talk about what the scholarship is about, what's the scholarship, what's the criteria, eligibility, and everything. And then I'll walk you through the application process, how to apply for it, and then I'll share a little bit about my application process. And then I'll also talk about tips to make your application stand out. Also from my experience, what I believe made my application stand out. And then if time permits, I'll talk a little bit about my journey so far at the University of Glasgow. So see you. Okay, talking about what is this African Excellence Award Scholarship. The African Excellence Award Scholarship seeks to support high achieving students from across Africa in their journey of becoming future world changers. I think if you hear about the University of Glasgow, the first thing that should come to your mind is that it forms world changers. So this is what this scholarship aims for. It is some sort of investment in your master's degree program such that you can go back to and contribute positively to your various communities. And the number of positions which are offered for the scholarship is 15, and from all countries in Africa, that is the 54 countries are listed in the countries which are eligible for this. And the program that you'll be studying, it has to be a 1-year postgraduate third degree. Take note of the postgraduate third degree and not postgraduate research. And this scholarship comes as a full tuition fee waiver. By full tuition fee waiver, what I mean, or what they mean, is that you don't need to pay any fees. Your fees is taken care of, but lo and behold, you need to take care of your living costs, your whole application process. What I mean by application process, I mean the visa application process will be funded by yourself. That's your TV test, your visa fee, your health insurance, and stuff. But trust me, being a recipient, it is worth every bit and worth everything. Having 22,000 Great British pounds of your fees being waived for you to come and study at one of the best universities in the world is, I don't know, it's an opportunity you should grasp if you can. So trust me, it's worth it. Moving to the eligibility criteria of the scholarship, the first thing is you first need to prove your academic excellence. That is, you've had very good grades, which is equivalent to the UK system. You also need to hold an offer from the University of Glasgow for the program that you're applying to. But in order to apply for this, you don't need to have had the offer yet. You can apply for the scholarship while waiting to receive your either conditional or unconditional offer from the school. Just that for you to proceed to the interview phase, you need to have had the offer already. And then the next eligibility criteria is that you need to have the international student status, and you need to be residing in Africa itself. And you also need to demonstrate a clear career path and development plan, explaining how this master's program comes in as the next step in that your development plan. And then the last but not the least, you need to provide evidence that you'll be able to cover your living costs according to the UKVI Home Office. This is something which was not there in my year, but it is clearly stated this time around. I think this year they have clearly stated the eligibility criteria right from the beginning, such that you know. So yeah, so this is what you need in order to be eligible to apply for this scholarship. Concerning the deadlines, the deadline this year is quite early, and it is the 31st of March 2024. That's the deadline to submit your application, and it's clearly stated as well that no application will be received after, or no application will be considered if it is submitted after this deadline. And the day for shortlisting of candidates has been stated to be the 10th of May 2024. So given that we already know what the scholarship is about, what the eligibility criteria is, I'll just give a brief overview of the application process before we go to the website to look at that again and how to apply. So for the application process, just like it says, you can first of all apply. Either you first of all apply to the school or you first of all apply for the scholarship, but you need to have already chosen the degree program that you'll be doing. So ensure that the degree program that you're choosing is among those that is listed eligible for funding. Yeah, so for the application process, you either apply for the scholarship first or you apply for your program, but it's usually advisable to apply for your program first because that usually takes a longer amount of time if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so after that, you will then be shortlisted. If you're successful, you'll be shortlisted by the school for an interview, and after the interview session, you will then be, I think after a few weeks or so, depending on the time load or what the school defines, you'll then be made known if you've been successful or you've been offered the scholarship or not. So that's just like a detailed, I can call it a detailed explanation of what the African Excellence Award Scholarship is about. So the next thing is talking about rundown of the application process. That's from the website. So now we're going to go to the website, the web page, what it looks like, and what to look for when you go on their web page. Okay, so here we just explain the application process, what it looks like on their webpage. So when you come to the University of Glasgow's webpage, it's very explicit. You can find whatever you're looking for on the webpage. You know, if you have to contact someone, there's always a contact us email, and they always do respond to their emails. So on their homepage, we just search for the African Excellence Fee Waiver Scholarships or anything. You can put the African Excellence Award, and this is what we're looking for. So when we take it, we then say it explains what the scholarship is about, the eligibility, the number of scholarships, that's up to 15, the countries, and the programs. So, like I said, when I counted the countries which are eligible, are all the 54 countries in Africa. So, if you intend to apply, please go through this detailing. Another thing to take note is the eligible programs. Be sure that the program you want to study at the University of Glasgow is eligible for the scholarship. And if you click on each program, you're going to see the modules and the structure of the program. That is what it offers. And make sure that it tells with what you want to do. So in my case, I took urban transport. Here it is an MSc. There's urban, if you're into urban studies, they have quite a lot of programs. And just like we stated, it's a full tuition fee waiver, and really explains it. How to apply, they just say brief explanation of what's up, how to apply. The deadline is 31st of March 2024, quite early this year, you know. And the shortlisting interview starts on the 10th of May. So like I said, to apply, we go to the apply now. We click the apply now button, and it takes us to a different page. So this is it. I think you just enter your details, select your program, full time and stuff. Let's just do it. I hope we'll be able to. Let's just work. Let's just yeah, 2002. Let's say 15 January 2002. Yeah, for my case, Cameroon depends on your case. Postgraduate thought that is it. We select the program. Not more rows. Well, let's just take data science. Enter your 8-digit application number, including all of the zeros. So, okay, so it shows that you must have applied. So you need to apply your 8-digit application number. It's quite different this year. Have you received an offer of admission? Either you take yes or no, depending. Let's take yes. I don't know if it's going to work. Fee status, we are international. Are you a refugee? No. I accept. Create my application and send me the link. It's quite different this year, so I hope it works. Oh, okay. So since it's quite different this year, but I think it should generally be the same thing. You can just look out for it. So it shows that you need to first of all have registered on the system, so they can know if your potential eligibility for the scholarship or not scholarship. So yeah, that's just it. Okay, so just like we saw, the application process this year is kind of different from last year, but I strongly believe that it has been ameliorated, because if you come to the University of Glasgow, you get to understand that they always want to make things better and easier. So I think all the changes is to make it quite easy for you as the applicant and for them as the school. So I'll just share a little bit about my own application process that year. Maybe there could be a thing or two which will help you while you are applying. So for my case, I first of all applied for the program, because that year you needed to have had an offer before even submitting your application for the scholarship. It could be conditional or unconditional. So in my case, I applied for the urban transport program. The documents that were asked, they asked for my transcript. I think they asked for the translated transcripts as well, because my transcript was in French since I graduated from the National Advanced School of Public Works Yaoundé. And they also asked for my IELTS result. Yeah, and I think the IELTS score for University of Glasgow, I'm not quite sure, but it's always good to aim for a score of 7.5 and a minimum of 6 in all sections. So yeah, I think they also asked for that. And then they asked for a little personal statement. I think that last year they asked me what's the importance of studying as a class. That's group studies. That's what the personal statement question was. So I think that was it. Your CV, your references, and stuff like that. So upon submitting my application, I remember that year on their webpage they had a WhatsApp contact. So I really had to push to ask, at what stage is my application, because the deadline for the application scholarship was sure in 2 weeks I hadn't had an offer then. So I kept pushing, I kept emailing, I kept texting on WhatsApp, and I think that pushing was really important, because with that, if my application was stuck somewhere, they would have told me that, oh, okay, stop, because I didn't submit a CV. Yeah, so I think with that, I was able to compile my documents for the scholarship, and I remember that I submitted my application for the scholarship the day before the deadline. So that was it. And after submitting that, I waited for quite a while. I really did wait, because I think I waited for over a month before the invite. They shortlisted me for an interview. I didn't even expect an interview, so I was just sitting one day and I opened my phone. I was like, "Hey, you have been shortlisted for the interview." I like, because when I was even applying for the scholarship, I remember I was just fixing people. I said, "Oh, let me just throw my application out there. You never know." And lo and behold, they called me for the interview. I was so shocked. I was anxious. First of all, having stage fright or interview fright. So it was. I had to prepare. I had to search on the school. I contacted Dr. Ashu of Eden Scholarship. We had some preparation sessions. He told me what to say in the interview. So it was more of just explaining the questions that was asked. Why do you choose the University of Glasgow, and why that course, and why should they choose you? Why do you think you deserve the scholarship? So that was the interview session, and in my panel I had two people. I had two people who interviewed me, just to know if how much you want the scholarship and how much you also know them, and just to hear more about your journey. So that was it. And after the interview, I don't quite remember how long it took again to receive the final award, but then I received the award. You have been awarded the African Excellence. I was so happy. I was so happy. So I had to quickly. I think I had averagely 6 weeks, because I had to start quickly processing my visa documents, and that was something that was completely new to me. The UK application visa process at that time. So I quickly put together the proof of funds. For the UK proof of funds, when you're applying for the UK visa, the money in your account needs to be in your account for at least 28 days before you apply for the visa. So I think those are one of the things that delayed my visa a little bit, because I arrived school like 2 weeks later to the start date. Yeah, so getting all of that, packing my things, the stuffs I'll need here, moving to a new country, and yeah, that was it. And on the 28th of September 2023, I landed in the UK to commence my master's degree. So I think that's it about the application process and what my own experience was. I think we'll just dive directly into how to make your application stand out. So the first thing to making your application stand out is if in the requirements they tell you need to submit IELTS, please don't bargain. Write your IELTS and submit your IELTS result. If they tell you need to have a CV, please get a CV, and it should be a CV it should be up to standard. So, in fact, the whole thing is just to say, make sure you submit every document which is required of you. If they say your references, chase your references. If the references have to reply to an email that's sent to them, ensure that all your references, it should not just be one, both of them. If it's two, both of them have responded to the reference email that has been sent to them. So, I think the first thing to isn't this is submitting a complete application and in time. Don't submit after the deadline. Just as I've said, they will not consider any application that comes after the deadline. Let's now go to your personal statement. Just like I said, I'll first of all start with mine. What I believe made mine stand out. Okay, so we will talk about tips to making your application stand out. And the very first one is your academic achievements. If you have already graduated, ensure that in your application you're highlighting that you're a student of excellence, such that they can trust that even when you come here, you'll be able to study and be among the best. And if you're in your final year of studies, ensure that you give in your best such that your academic results turn out to be A's, like the best students. Just like the word scholarships, you want to back it up with I can do this, I have done this before, so if you fund me, if you invest in me, it's kind of certain I'm going to come out with good results. So apart from that, you also want to highlight your professional experience. That if you have professional experience, extracurricular activities. And another thing is volunteering, how you have been involved in your communities. They love to hear that. How have you been involved in your community? How have you been involved in community engagement? How have you been involved in community development? How have you given back to your community? How have you contributed to your community? What's that one problem that you've highlighted, you've identified in your community, and what have you done to contribute and can make it better. Trust me, for this scholarship, just like they said, the career plan and your development plan. So, well, in my case, let me talk from my case. In my case, I my first degree was a master's degree in civil engineering, so I was kind of switching, or let's say transitioning. I'll not call it a switch. I was transitioning to urban transport, and my main focus this time and at the time was road safety. Yeah, given we all know the road safety challenge that Cameroon has with the high number of road crashes and accidents. Yeah, so my whole story was being an engineer. I've identified one problem in my community, which is the roads are not sustainable, the roads are not safe, so there's a lot to be done there. There's even no school that trains engineers. At the time, there was no school that trains engineers in urban transport and stuff. So just coming to come and learn about this at this university is going to equip me in such a way that I can take up roles in my country that can solve that. And also at the time, I had done courses online. I had done courses with IRAP. I had done courses with the UN. I had done courses with the World Bank. I had done. I was currently volunteering, I guess. So at the time, I was volunteering at the local actions program. I hope you heard about this program, which was done last year by our little team to educate youth on road safety education in schools, first aid training, as post crash care. So yeah, at the time I was volunteering on that, and I was very much involved, and I'm still very much involved in road safety initiatives. So that was like the pivot or what I laid emphasis on. I also attended fellowship programs at that time. I was also doing a fellowship program with the SDSN youth on urban challenges. So I highlighted that, all right, I have done this, this is what I'm doing. So this master's degree comes in as the next big step or the next best step for me in order to get to where I want to go to. So if I wanted, or I want to be, sorry. So this master's program comes in as the next big step and the next best step for me to get to where I want to go to. So given that I want to be working in the urban transport sector, so getting a degree in urban transport will give me the knowledge and the skills in that sector to be able to contribute to it effectively. So yeah, I think that's what makes it stand out. And at the time, I did a problem tree analysis. I'm going to share with you guys in a minute. So I think that's just it. Just like they said, explaining your development plan. What have you done before? What have you done before? What are you currently doing now? How does this next step come in? And please ensure that when you're highlighting what you've done before, what you're doing now, ensure there's this thing. I attended one communications webinar where they talked about FAB. So what is the future, the advantage and the benefit? What have you done is the future. What advantage does it have? Like, what is the added value you have gained? What is the benefit? Given that you have done this, how does it prove that you deserve the scholarship? How does it prove that they're investing in you at that time is going to benefit them? Because don't forget that for them, the benefit will be having that master's degree and being able to positively contribute to your community. So because I have done this, I have gained this, and it has benefited me in this way, and getting the scholarship will only benefit me in this way and benefit my community and benefit yourself. So it's kind of a win-win situation. So yeah, for tips to make your application stand out, I think that's it. Just like I already highlighted before, ensure that you submit your application in time and read thoroughly. In my case, if you're still very new, even if you're old, it's always good to have a second eye read your personal statement, a second eye to read your CV. So in my case, I am luckily enough for me, I'm part of the Eden Scholarship Forum, and consider to thank God for Dr. Ashu. He's the one who proofread my essays. I don't know if he proofread my essays, but then he gave me some tips on. I think at the time it was like I earlier said, I applied the day before, so I think he didn't have time to read my essays, but he gave me like the tips. So you can research on sources online. But if you're very opportune to get someone who can proofread your essay, please do it, because they'll always like identify what are the strong things you can put in to make applications stand out. But I remember for the interview process, he really did help me, because I had, in fact, it was my very first scholarship I applied to. I didn't apply for Commonwealth, so this was like the very first scholarship I applied to. Yeah, before, and this was even what boosted me to start applying for other scholarship programs. So yeah, that's it for tips for making your application stand out. I think the video has been very lengthy, and I would like to conclude it here. I'll just say a thing or two about my journey so far, but hopefully I'll be able to make another video of my journey so far. The first thing is, okay, I always like to tell a story from the past. When I was coming to the University of Glasgow, when I received the scholarship, my family and some people around me, they were actually having second second thoughts on if I should come here, because I had to leave my job and I had to come here. I had to also fund myself partially. It was not fully funded like the popular Commonwealth scholarships, which people know. But trust me, my journey so far, it is worth everything. Like when I look back, I just thank God that I didn't. It's true. I with all the input, I started second guessing, but thank God that He led my steps here. Thank God that He provided for us, that's my family and myself, to be able to be able to afford. Yeah, afford is the word. To be able to afford all the things that we needed for me to be here. So that's one thing. Studying at the University of Glasgow, it gives you some exposure to the world. There are many new things that if I was in Cameroon, I wouldn't even know that it's possible. One thing is, at the University of Glasgow, they have this thing which is the virtual, like a virtual desktop, which means no matter the performance of your machine, you're still able to run the softwares that you need for your program. And that's a way of improving access to education. So you see, if I was maybe in Cameroon and maybe I was seated somewhere and they asked me how can I improve access to education, I've not been exposed to that, so I don't think that idea will ever come to my mind. That's just one part of it. And in my own sector of urban transport, bicycle lanes, transport strategies, they're just things that I read, and they're just things that maybe we just read, we just imagine that it is possible. But living in a city where you see that it is being done, going back to my community, okay, I think I'll go back with the stronger conviction that we can do this, and me and I'm able to do this. So just the exposure, the studying with Chinese, studying with American. Will be good, but to actually have this scholarship. So good luck with your application process, and thank you. Just to conclude with a brief introduction of myself, again, in case you forgot, I am Albright Gomo Fochisong. You can follow me on my social media pages. On LinkedIn, I am Albright Pisong, and on YouTube, I am Paying It Forward with Brie. So, thank you. So just like I said, during my application process, I developed a problem tree diagram. So yeah, as you can see, the problem, the challenge of sustainable mobility, which were the causes of poor capacity and knowledge of the subject matter. And that's why I had to come to the University of Glasgow to learn about that, for urban planning, lack of leading organization. So these are the causes that I identified, and the effects we can see increase in road traffic injuries, national road safety strategy which is not being implemented, mismanagement of funds and stuff like that. So this is me here. This is what I knew. This is I clearly highlighted the MSc in urban transport was supposed to give me this in order for it contribute to me, and then I'll be able to give back this. And just like I said at the time, I was doing a fellowship program. So the fellowship program, local pathways fellowship, this is what it gave me. So in your case, you can just develop something similar. And then here are my responses. Why do you think you merit the scholarship? I highlighted the problem, what I've done so far. So in this question, are you? Why are you the best? What have you done that really interests them? to define yourself, tell your story, make it interesting. Like Dr. Ashi would say, tell your story. You must not necessarily be about your works and the academic stuff. Say you want to see UK, you're coming to come and enjoy everything that UK have, the beauty, the diversity, learning with Chinese, learning with Americans, learning with British, all in one place, just that diversity, that fun, the vibrancy of the city. You've heard about Glasgow. It's a it's it's I'm forgetting the word, but you've heard about Glasgow. It's oh my god, historical town, a historic town. Like the buildings, the University of Glasgow itself is very beautiful. So yeah, you can just add all of that, and that's it. Okay, just a few tips for the interview session. I'm going to be saying this with my experience and with the mentorship I had from Dr. Asho. During the interview process, you're just reiterating again what you've said in your application paper and giving it some flesh, like making it a story one can enjoy. You're proving yourself. You're putting yourself out there. It has to be me because I have done this. It has to be me because I will do this. It has to be me because this is how important it's going to contribute to my community. It has to be me because this is like the next thing I so want. Or the next thing my community needs, or the next thing I so need in order to get to where I want. Show that enthusiasm, show that passion, show that you know the University of Glasgow. Research on them. Show that you've gone through their web pages. You know that this course does this. They have these professors which have done this, and you coming in. You wish to interact with them, you need to learn from them, and also show that Glasgow is a beautiful place. And indeed, Glasgow is very beautiful. Glasgow is a historic city. Even the University of Glasgow itself, the museum, the buildings. I mean, the first day I came here and I saw the castle, I was like, oh, it was so nice. So yeah, you can see all of that. That you want to visit UK, you want to learn with the Chinese, you want to learn with the Americans. You just want to have that whole cultural experience. It's so beautiful, and trust me, and so worth it. So I look forward to you reaching out to us to help you with your applications if need be. I look out to you being selected, you being shortlisted, to everything beautiful, and I just hope and pray you get this. And I wait for you to come and join me here. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was your host, if I can say, all right, go for this. Thank you.